Excuse me. Hey everybody, this is a quick video to give you an overview of your final project, which is an original creative work assignment. So the reason I'm asking you to watch this video way back when we start drama is just so you can kind of start thinking about what you might want to do. So with creative projects, sometimes you got to kick it around for a little bit longer than other stuff. So I want you to have a good grasp of what you're going to need to do for this final project and have a little bit of time to, run it in your background processes and think about what you might want to do while we work on other stuff as well. So just know that if you're watching this at the beginning of the drama unit, that you don't really necessarily need to do anything for it yet. Just kind of start thinking about it. And then you can obviously start working on it whenever you want. You can, if you have a great idea for it and you just want to go ahead and do it right now, that's totally fine. You can work ahead. I may not grade it ahead of time, just fair warning. I will try though. So you can go ahead and start on this if you want to, or you can save it towards the end of the semester. But my goal here in having you watch it now is just so that you, can start thinking about it. So let's jump into it. So the original work unit will actually start like our last technical week of school. So week 15, April 28th to May 2nd, you will submit a proposal for the original work. So it's just really informal, like tell me what you might want to write about. And I can, ask any questions about it and that kind of thing. And I can give you some feedback on it before you submit the whole thing. Yeah, so this is going to start the last week of school, and you will turn in your original work actually during exam week. We don't have a final exam for this class, so this will kind of take the place of that. So that's try to be a little more creative and fun about it than having some ridiculous test. So let's get into the instructions. Open a tab here. Essentially, you're going to write something creative, and you can write pretty much whatever you want that's creative, but I wanted to give you a few options, like ideas to get started. If you're somebody who's like not super into creative writing and not, you're just like, what am I even going to write about? This document will give you some places to start, or at least some options to work with, and you can just pick one and do it. Or if you're somebody who really likes creative writing and you have something else you want to write, have at it. This is again just something for you to give you something to work with. So you will write your own original short story, play, and or poems. I'm not sure how the and part works there. You could make up some new genre. And whatever your original work is, it should include some kind of literary elements. So if you're going to do a short story or a play, it's probably going to have some plot, probably going to have some characters, probably going to have a setting, that kind of stuff. If you're doing poems, you might not have a plot structure. You might just have some setting and some description and metaphor and stuff like that. So you don't have to include all of these literary elements, but they should include some literary elements. And honestly, I'm not sure how you would write a short story or a play or a poem without this stuff. So it'll happen organically. So you don't necessarily have to force those things. If you're going to write a short story, it's going to have characters, right? But you do want to think about how you develop your characters and how you describe your setting and all of that. So after you've finished creating your original work, you'll write a literary work reflection that just talks about how you use literary elements in it. And we'll look at that assignment here in just a second. So aim for about 1,000 words. This is so hard to figure out a word count or like parameters for this because like poems are going to be different than short stories, obviously. And, is it better to have one really good poem that's short, or should you try to, have a bunch of really long stuff in there? If you're not sure, ask me. We can talk through it. The big thing is I don't want you to just like submit one haiku and like say you're done, because that's not like the same amount of effort as writing a whole, 1,000-word short story or whatever. You can write more than this if you want to, and really you can write less as well, but it does need to show like some effort. So what I'm going to grade this on isn't like, your excellent writing skill, or, oh, you had a plot twist at the end or whatever. It's more going to be about like showing that you understand what literary elements are and that you are making an effort to put those together into something that creates meaning and that shows effort. So this is more of an effort thing. So if your poems are like short but like really well edited and you've talked to me about it, hey, that's okay. But if you're not sure about it, just give me a shout and we can work through it together. So one of the options you can do for this assignment is to write a spin-off. So you can choose a text that we've read this semester and write a spin-off. So you could take a character from one of the short stories and give them their own short story. So if you were, I've had a really interesting one last semester where someone wrote a spin-off of After I Was Thrown in the River and Before I Drowned from the perspective of Susan. And that was really cool. You can take this kind of anywhere you want. So you can choose a character and create a spin-off. You don't even have to have the same genre. If you wanted to take a character from Sunny's Blues and write a play about them, so it's just dialogue, like, have at it. I'm really trying to give you as much creative license as we have here while also still being able to like realistically, set parameters and grade it. So, you could, take an interesting theme from one of the plays, turn it into some poems. Be creative. I like cool stuff. So if you have a cool idea, have at it. You can, a spin-off of something that we've read in class is one thing that you can do. Another interesting thing that people have had fun with is to take one of the plays or the short stories we've read and choose an alternate ending, like make it happen differently somehow. Obviously, I think the short stories that we've read and the plays end really well, but if you have like a creative ending that you think would be better, that would be a cool option for this. You could also write a response poem or series of poems in response to a poem that we've read in class. So if you remember from the poetry unit, Allowables is in response to the poem Mercy. So they're both about killing spiders, right? And that could be a really cool thing to do. That's actually a really common thing that's done in poetry, is write these write a poem in response to someone else's poem, and it can be a good little creative challenge. Or free space, write something new, write something different, and have at it. But I do want to give you at least somewhere to start, because I know it can be kind of overwhelming and almost prohibitive to have too much freedom. So a spin-off, change the ending, or a response poem, it would be great options. But if you have something else in mind, that's cool too. Like I said, this will be more effort-based grading than super duper rubric-y. So I'm wanting you to spend a little bit of time thinking about something and write about it, and show some effort. This one, if you have any questions, like if you're like not sure as you work or you have an idea, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to work with you on it or give you feedback as you go, or whatever you need with it. I have a lot of fun with it. I like creative writing, and I like reading the things that you have written. So that was the original work instructions. The first thing you'll have to do, like that, here in a few weeks, if you're watching this during drama, is just submit a brief proposal about it. So it should include your topics, which can be from that list that we just looked at, and just summarize it or give an outline, bullet points of like what you're going to include in it and a little bit about why. So this can be really informal. It's mostly just to make sure that your idea is solid and works. And if you have any questions or like stuff like that with this one, I will try to grade this like pretty fast after you turn it in, just so I can give you help if you need. So also add any questions to this that you might have. Then during exam week, you'll turn in the actual original work to the assignment folder, and you will also complete the original work literary reflection that has an assignment folder as well. And pretty much it's just give me a few paragraphs about like how you use literary elements in your original work. You should include specific stuff from the text, like evidence from the text, just like we've done with other essays. Just go through these questions. Tell me what was difficult about it. Tell me what you were proud of. I always like to hear what you're proud of. This You can shoot for 500 words, but this is pretty general. I'm mostly looking for you to say how you use literary elements and reflect a little bit on the experience of writing something creative. So that's all that is. So we don't have, like I said, say it again, we don't have a final exam in this class, but you do have something that is hopefully a little fun and creative, and that will be due at the end of the semester. So I will link this video both in the drama unit and in the original work unit. Reason being, just, go ahead, start thinking about it. If you want to bounce some ideas off of me, I'm more than happy to do that with you. Yeah, cool. I'm excited to read them.